Hello, everyone. This is Joe Armstrong and the Power Systems Virtual User Group for webinar for May. Welcome. I hope it's summertime where you're at. A couple of things before we get going here. First of all, I did start the recording, so the session is being recorded. If you don't want to be on a recorded session, I guess you can drop off. A couple other things. We had TechU earlier, actually end of April, beginning of May. And I was happy to meet some of you at TechU. Thanks for contacting me. It was really nice to see some people. And TechU is great as always. So the one big conference that I really like about IBM. A couple other things. The presentation materials for today are on the wiki. Probably either later today or tomorrow I'll have the replay, a link to the replay onto the wiki as well, assuming that the wiki's working and I can get that edited and everything. So as for today, as we go through today, if you have questions, put them in the question pane. I think there's two panes on the whole WebEx thing. There's a questions pane and a chat pane. So if you have questions, it's easier to just monitor one or the other. So put them in the question pane, please, and then we'll be able to see them and answer them. So let's get to today's topic. We've got today a tool that's available to everybody that works for AIX, IBM I, and Linux. It's a tool that I see used a little bit with my years working with different customers, but not seen a lot. And it's a no charge for the basic use of the tool. And I just think it's something that could be used a lot more. So I want to get this out here and make sure people are aware of it, know about it, and maybe can make use of this to help you. So as I said, it's no charge, and I think our presenter today will help us understand a little bit more about how it works, how to get it going, and what you can do with it. So with that, I'm going to introduce Rafiq Jadran. Rafiq is the lead for the performance management for Power Systems tool. And Rafiq's been working with the performance management tool, he told me, for 23 years. The actual tool has been around since almost since the beginning of what we called the AS400 back then. So now it's the IBM I system. But back when it was AS400, this tool came out, and it was really geared towards that particular system. And it's been expanded now for all the operating systems, and really in a good way. So we've got Rafiq Jadran here to tell us about it. And with that, Rafiq, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Joe. Hi, everyone. I'm Rafiq Jadran, working for the PM for Power Systems, which runs on IBM I, AIX, and Linux. And there are certain versions of Linux are supported, not all, but most recent ones. And I have been with the team for the last, as Joe mentioned, about 20 to 23 years. And the tool started from AS400, and then in 2002, AIX was added to it, and in 2012, Linux was added to this tool. So it means that there's one tool, works for all operating systems, and you can manage your performance, check the performance, and on this using this tool. It runs unattended on your system by. I will just show you how it runs, but the data is collected from your system and then sent to the IBM, where the reports are generated and access is given to the customers and business partners and IBM, of course. Going forward with this one, today's agenda is mapping a robust system using PM for Power System, and how does it work, how the client benefits when using PM, server information page, the page 7 to page 14. This is the one that is common for almost IBM I, AIX, and Linux. Then how to do the setup on AIX, then how can you access the performance data using this tool. The thing is, in today's world, that the question arises in the minds of many clients, that the people, the company, there, how to keep up the track of impact of how all that that's happening. Then how can I keep costs down by driving utilization up? How do I plan for new opportunities but keep costs low? What is the impact of the new hardware technology on workload performance? What is the right balance among resources for the users versus scant resources to fit the budget? Can I consolidate with just my existing resources? What should I plan for the next year? So the answer are given on the right side. Left side, you see those how can you do it, the capabilities, dynamic process allocations, partial process allocation, rapid provisioning, thousands of partitions, multi-OS, processor pools, and active memory sharing, expansions, capped versus uncapped, dedicated processors, capacity on demand, live partition mobility, etc., and new plus new releases and new hardware. Now, how does it work? That is automatic growth and utilization data collections on customer systems. It supports, as I mentioned, AIX, I releases, and those have not been the end of the support program support. Data transfer from customer to IBM writers with customer action means you accept something, some disclaimer that you accept it, and then click on that one, and the data will start flowing to IBM. And then what data is we produce, excuse me, capacity planning reports for the customers, free and fee. As Joe mentioned, we have the fee and free. I will show you what the difference between those two. And you can use the web tool, and also you can use it, the workload estimator to do the sizeness upgrade. That maybe when you want to consolidate the several partitions into one system, then what kind of system you may need. So that's with the click of a mouse that the data is sent to the WLE. So there are the query tools available for the business partners and also as well as for the customers and the IBMs. Now, the thing, what is the prerequisite that how does it work? How it works? The data collection components are integrated into AIX and IBMI and shifts as part of the OS. There is an installation toolkit for the Linux. Means for the Linux, you have to do the toolkit, install the toolkit to activate PM on Linux server. And the client receives summary level utilization, growth, and capacity graphs at no additional cost. Detailed reports are available via IBM Global Service offering. Sold is sold as standalone in North America and is packaged in ETS in Europe. The prerequisite, all power hardware except HPC, supports all AIX and I releases, which are still in program, and also supports Red Hat version 5 and SUSE version 10 or newer. This is integrated into the OS, as I already mentioned, that it ships with the OS and IBM I and AIX. As soon as you reboot the machine, the PM is there active. Only you have to accept some other condition, fill in some information and accept it. Now, and the thing is, you have access to some graphs and everything. The client. The benefits, what are the benefits when you are using a PM? No cost, minimal cost performance analysis, and capacity planning. Runs unattended. This is one of the things. You don't have to be watching something, it runs unattended. The data is readily available for diagnosis if a problem does occur. We keep 25 months of history in IBM. So if you have been sending data, you can get the history for the last 25 months. And if some problem happens on your server, you can just log into the PM website and check the reports all the way back to 25 months and see what was going on with the system. And then also how to maximize ROI, that is, and then the personalized planning for the future. So the report which you see on the right-hand side is a process utilization, one of the page, which is a part, is not a free page. That's the one of the offering, fee offering page. But anyway, it shows what kind of report you may get it with the fee offering. I will just show you more about this one. Now, when the data on the PM website, this is a called server information page. You can group your servers, create the groups, and put the servers in a group and monitor them. You can do it on daily basis, or you can do weekly, or depends how you want to maintain those. The thing is, the data is received on daily basis from the server, and this page is updated on every day. So you can see what happened last night, if the data has been transmitted or day before using this page. You can log in this to the PM website and be in this page, and you can look at the server. So here in this one, you see the action items on the left side, which is you see there are some small icons. I'll explain them on the next page, and then you see this. There's another one, next size next upgrade, means you can pass the data to WLE. And if you for most of some of the customers, they usually authorize the business partners to take care of the systems. So you can click on this icon, BP authorization, and fill in the form, give the BP name to give the access to the business partners. So the business partner can get access only after you authorize that one. There are more columns on the right side. I see this one. Let me go to the next one. Here you see the information which is available on this page as an AIX, that if you are running the shade pool and collecting the information, you see those pool core peak utilizations, how many cores are configured, and those columns give you information. This is readily available, excuse me, on monthly basis every month. And you can go backward and see it, but it's up-to-date information you see over here. And going forward, now, these are the no additional charge graph. Means these the graphs you see get it if you are just you want to use it but don't want to buy PM full fee offering. And these are the graphs you will be able to see on online. Also, there's a PDF will be available of one page. I'll show you that one too. And that you can download it. And we keep the history of graphs for the last 6 months. But you can customize them backward to up to 25 months if the data is available or you have been transmitting. So this is as you see the total processor utilization, hard disk, and the file system. These are the major things for AIX, and those ones are readily available to the customer free of charge. Now, this is another additional. If you have set up your system to collect cross-partition data. I will show you how that is done, and then you will see also these two graphs. In addition to the previous page, there are also no additional graph charge. There's no charge on it. This the top one system view shows that the complete system view means for example, in this graph it shows. And there are 6 partitions on this server, and all the 6 are reporting, and they have the way the cores have been divided at 6 cores, and active cores are 6, dedicated 0, and shared cores are 6. Means they have put all the 6 cores in the shared pool. And this graph, which is my critical monthly base, shows overall utilization by all the 6 partitions. The second one is the shared pool, that is at a pool level. Some cases, some partitions are not sharing the pool, rather they have dedicated processor, and some partitions they share the processor. So, for example, in this graph, you see that there are 128 active cores, but only 109 are in the shared pool. So this report is based on the 109 processor in the pool. So this is the PDF. The one you can download it. This is just a picture of that one. And the one you can download it is one page free of charge. The 2 pages actually when you activate the cross-partition collection and the shared pool collections. If you don't activate it, then it will be only one page, the one on the left side, showing that information. The previous is I was showing here, this is from our website. This is, you can customize it from using the PM website. But this is is created on monthly basis, so it is available for the last 6 months history. Going forward, how can you customize it? How can you see things? No, this is what I'm showing here is a full fee offering. Means the customer has purchased a PM offering. And this one, I'm showing here how the system has been configured, means how many processors are there, and how the customer has configured those processors. So with the processor or with the system view, and this is system configuration, you see that it has a total of 6 cores activated on this server. And then the second bar is showing that there are the green. There are several colors you see that at the bottom of the screen. The dedicated 0 and capped 1.6, capped 0, and not allocated is 4.4. So those are colors which show in this bar that how you have configured or shared the processor between the partitions on that one. But this graph is part of the free offering. Going forward, now this is a system view again, is overall bars used showing with your last 12 months history that how your system overall is utilizing the processor, the growth of the processor happening on the system. It also shows that how many processors are available and actually how many are active. So the green part of the bars means the active processors, and the blue part of that bars means that they are available on demand. They are there on your system, but they are not activated yet. So they are available to you. And the dots, you have the black dots, the black diamonds, you see those? They are showing the growth, the utilization on a monthly basis. This is an average. We call it peak average. And then what a peak average is that we take 2 max hour in 24 hours and we take the average of that one. So means if you are hour 10 in the morning and hour 10 in the night, 22 in the night, which are the highest utilized hours in 24 hours, we take the average of those 2 hours, and that is the one is shown up here on a monthly basis. And the last 3 bars, I showed that how it's going to happen in the future. Means this is data is up to 511. This is my old graphs, which I'm using then. But those shows that based on 3, 6, and 12 months. If you see the bottom of the screen here, and the diamonds has the pink and blue and the red trend, 3, 6, and 12. So those 3, and those are the markers on the last 3 bars, shows how your growth is going based on 3, 6, and 12 months. So you should know how the system being used, and you can plan ahead for that one. Now, when we receive data first time for the customer, after processing, we send a key letter to them. We will call it a registration key letter. This is sent to the customer if we have a valid email address. So that is one of the very important things, that we should have a valid email address to get this. This gives you information. If it tells you your serial number, as you see here in red marker, and the key or registration key and the server name. And then we tell you that we have received this one, and if you think it has been sent by mistake, then we give the information how you can stop it. And you need to stop, you can go ahead and stop sending data, and you can quit from there. And you can even send a note to us that please delete my data. We will take care of that one and remove it from our system. But also it gives information how you can use it, and how you can log into a PM website and see the performance of your server free of charge in the beginning. Now I'm going to the next step, that is how you can do the setup on AIX. And there are 5 ways, 5 steps that you start collection on AIX. first we use the Topaz recordings. It means we don't collect directly from the server, but the Topaz is the one collects information, and we run on top of Topaz to crunch the data and put it in a file and have it make it ready to send it to IBM. Number two, the customer information update. This is not required if you are using HMC and you have filled in information correctly on HMC. And otherwise, the better is this. You go in and fill information on each server. I will show you that one too. Then the next step is to enable the transmission, and then also how to set up the cross LPAR and other menu options. Now, this is how it started, that you make sure your Topaz is running and then recording is happening. That you have the active running. That there's a command that you use it, submit Topaz, and you select the active recordings as highlighted below, and then press enter, and then select the persistent recording. This is the step one if your recording is running. If the recording is not running, then you can select the information back from the same menu, that start a new recording, and then start a persistent local recording, and then select binary. You see all these three steps given on the same two screens, that you select it and press enter and move forward with that one. Now, going forward, then you can verify that is running, and after that you get this message that the thing has started and the recording is running now. Excuse me. Now, again that I mentioned, we had to get the registration key letter and information from PM. That we need to have correct email address and company name, everything updated in HMC. If not, then use this screen to update it on your server. The thing is the same way you run the Topaz command and then select the performance management, as you see highlighted below. And then on the next screen, it shows you that what needs to be filled, that it tells you change show customer information, and enter your company name, and then you can enter all the information. Those are asterisks in the front of that. The country name and then country code, you have to select it. You see on the right side, again, select country name and country code from drop-down menu. You press F4, and then it should give you the list, and select it correct country name and the country code from that one. And fill in your information, contact name, phone number, email address, and then press enter and move forward. Now, from AS prompt again, that we need the data. Once you start it, it will start collecting data. It will be sitting on your system, on your server, but it will not come to IBM unless you activate electronic service agent. If you are using electronic service agent, or if you are using HMC, then you have to go to the HMC and enable the transmission. These are steps given, and then when you start it, you get the disclaimer that you accept it, and then this tells you how the data will be used within IBM. That you accept it, and then press enter to go forward. And then this is follow the information. Those ones, as I mentioned previously, that there are two ways to send data, using electronic service agent and using HMC. So these are steps given if you are using electronic service agent. The more information you can find on the link given below at the bottom of this page, it shows you how you can follow those instructions and set it up. But if you follow even these steps given here, and it will be configured easily, and you'll be able to send the performance data to IBM. Now, and then click OK on the changes. The thing with the HMC, you can, as you see, in the bullet H here, that's after you have done this one, then actually it says you should log into this site, give your server name here. When you give that one, then you get this page over here from the electronic service agent, where you select the time you want it the data be sent, on every day. Usually we ask it should be after midnight or before 5 a.m. in the morning, and then it's good. It's the best time to send the data from the server. And then they click send, and then that will be scheduled, and it will send it automatically every day. Now, if the servers are managed by HMC, then there is no additional setup needed on your HMC to send permanent data. You can optionally change the time that HMC collects the permanent data by doing the following steps. So it means HMC already have by default collect the performance data and send it. But if you want to stop it, you can go in and stop it, not to send it. But this is by default, and then you log in there and make sure that the time HMC should be collecting the data and transmitting it to IBM. Now,
so Rafiq, just a quick question. Does it matter on the operating system, whether it's AIX, IBMI, or Linux? The collection, the sending of the data can be done by ESA or the HMC, no matter what the operating system is?
Yes, for the AIX, you can use either electronic service agent or HMC, either one. But for IBMI, or that has to be electronic service agent.
Oh, it does. Okay, and for Linux?
For Linux, the same thing. The electronic service agent or HMC if it's managed by HMC.
Okay, so it's just IBMI has to be the electronic service agent only.
Electronic service agent, yes.
Okay, thanks.
Now, the most important thing is when you want to collect the cross-partition data, because the cross-partition data is sitting on HMC. If the server is managed by HMC, those all partitions are being managed by HMC, then that one, the setup, you have to do it. Using the same steps, there's first of all that you have to, there are two steps. Set up a passwordless SSH connection from the server to HMC, and then the set up the cross-logical partition intervals. There are two things you do, two steps you have to do. Now, and this is still from the command prompt that you do submit to path and select performance management, and select change show HMC information. And a pop-up window will show you, and then it shows that you accepted and press enter as shown below. Now, you have to set up that one. Now, on the next screen, that you give the HMC name, which is, and then by default, the user is a PMAIX user. And then you give the HMC name and press enter and move forward. This is the first time if you see in the note on the right side, so for the first time, the HMC root password will be prompted twice, followed by PMAX user password. If the passwordless SSH is already configured, it prompts for HMC root password once, followed by PMAX user password. So this is something you have to follow the instructions given in this document, and also available on the PM website, that how you can set up the cross-partition collection. The second part is setup is that you have to set up the intervals. We encourage to set up the HMC at 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and 60 minutes interval. By default is 60 minutes, but you can change it to 15 minutes or the 30 minutes. Change those intervals so that the thing is, it is only to we get the average, and the data is not a huge data, because if the customer has almost 80 or 90 partition on a system on one box, and all are managed by HMC, we get information for each and every LPAR. So if you collect it at 50 minutes versus 60 minutes, you see it will be 4 times more when you are collecting it at 15 minutes. So that we, by default, is at a 60 minutes, but you can change that interval to by pressing F4 key to 15 or 30 minutes. So now in those after you have done this, in the press enter, and then it will continue on. Now there are other things you can set up from the main from the PM performance management menu. That is those I would call other options on the menu. You can change and show retention data. Means how long you want to keep the data on your system. Means you can keep some history on your server. By default, it is 14 days, and but you can change it to 7 days or 3 days or 4 days, depending on the size of this may be utilized. And if you say leave it at 14 days, so it means if you failed to send data or something went wrong, could not transmit the data, so at least you have some data sitting on your server and you can still retransmit it. But if the data is more than 14 days old, it is archived automatically. Our product archives it. So you can change those the retention days on your server. But on the other hand, on the IBM side, PM keeps your data for 25 months. Now, the others are the training days that we, by default, Sunday and Saturday are off. We usually, by default, we don't collect the data for those 2 days. But you can change if you are your company is 24/7. Then you can go and change the using this option over here, and but usually it's Monday to Friday, and you can change it to no to yes. So you see on the right hand side on the screen. So you can change the training days. So most of the customers usually they change it to all the 7 days, so they want data to be sent for 7 days and collected. And then shift times means you call it prime shift. We call first shift. You mostly AIS user call it prime shift and off shift. So we call it first shift, second. And their start time by default is 8 in the morning to 5:30 in the evening, and then 5:30 the second shift starts to 7:59 in the morning. So you can change the timing depending upon your when the work starts in the morning and when they close it in the evening. You can change the times. It could be 12 hours, it could be more than 12, or could be less than 12 hours for each shift. But don't make one shift for 24 hours. That will not give you any good result. The thing is, leave it with the 2 shift at least. Otherwise, now going forward, how to access your server's performance data from the PM website. This is link is given here, and then this link, when you click it, it will take you a PM page which has all that information, all kind of info about the graphs, and there is a graph reference document available on the website here. And you can view those graphs in that graph reference document. It shows you what kind of graphs are available for IBM I, AIS, and Linux. And you can go through it, and the sample reports are there, and it will help you to understand those graphs. If when you are using the PM website, log in, and you don't understand something on that on the graph, then you can refer to this graph reference document. It has all the explanation about the graph. So that's one you can see it easily. Now with this one, I will now take to you the how you can log in and see this one. First I'll show you here, then I'll actually do the active demo on it. This is link is available from this page. When you go in this page, you get that link. And also is given at the bottom of the screen here. You can use this link also. When you click on this one, it will take you to this page. And then from here also you can go back to that page by clicking back on this PM for Power Systems home. You see on the left hand side in the box over there. As a customer, you can log in as a customer if you are you own the server. And then if you are a business partner, you can use business partner. And if you are a IBMer, you can use IBM using your IBM ID to log in. You need in all these three cases, you need IBM Web ID and IBM Intranet ID for IBMers. But for IBMers, not every IBMer has an access to this tool. As if you are not authorized to use this tool, you get a message and ask you to apply for the authorization. So the PM will know that some IBM has asked for that one, and we authorize them as if they request, we authorize them, but we must have the authority to use this tool. Now, going forward, when you log in, this is the customer. When you log in as a customer, this is the page where you click accept it, continue on. You should know what you can do. It tells you some give information about it, and then you press this continue to go on forward. And then as when you come in the first time, if you have never used this tool and you logged in the first time, the customers or the clients, you will be given this page because you are new and that you don't have any group created on the PM website. And using this page, it tells you please create your own group before you move forward. So give any name if you want to give your company name, or you want to do East, West, or whatever it is. You can give description, and then and we'll show the owner here automatically, and the owner ID, the one who has been creating it, who is creating this group. So those get filled up from your login ID automatically. Then you press this button here, create a group. If you say no, I don't want it, and you cancel it, then it will just throw you back. Means you don't want to use the website. So you can create a group, go forward. It's now once the group has been created, you can authorize your own company people or to this group. You can you can add up to 5 or maximum to 6 ID into this. But you can add more, but only you have to write to PM to get the permission to add more than 6 users to view that group. Now, once you own it, when you authorize the other people to view that group within your company, they only can view it. They cannot make any changes to it because you own it. You only gave them the view authority just to view it. Otherwise, if you say, no, I don't want to add anybody, but just click on finish and move forward. Now, once, because as a new customer first time, the group has been created, and then the next window comes up. It says, okay, now you need to add some server to that group. As previously, I showed you the registration key letter, the one you received from PM, from IBM, that has that information in that letter. That the serial number is given there, and your key is in that letter. Fill in those one accordingly, check those one, fill in there, and then submit it. Then as soon as you submit it, it will say that it has been successfully added. Do you want to add another server to this group? You said no, you just say finish and then go forward. Otherwise, you can click this one and add another server if you want to add it. Now, once the thing has been added, then you get this server information, which I described it previously, showing that when you add it, it will come up in this page. It shows you that information. It shows you when the last data was received, how many system cores were there, and how it is. And whether you have the GTS customer contracts, the full fee offering or not. What is your operating system, and all that information. And also the icons on the action items on the left side. The first one is view customer graphs, and then the monthly, the next is PDF report, and view transfer history, and view your customer information. So over here, if you want to authorize a business partner, let me see here. If you want to authorize a business partner, this is the button here top, BP authorization on the top here. And you can click that one, and then it will show you a form. Then you fill in that one and submit if you want to do it. And these are all the options available, or the copy server, add server, remove servers, sizeness upgrade, or export data CSV. You can download this page information to a CSV, but depending upon the contract, if you have full fee offering, you will get all information in that CSV file. If you have if you're free customer, then it will be less information in that CSV file. And then you can do search within group. If you have more than 100 servers in a group, then you want to search on a particular server, then you can do a search. Now, going forward, then when you click on this PDF icon here, then it gives you this window. It shows that if you have been transmitting for the last 6 months or more, you can see the report for the last 6 months here. By shift 1 or shift 2, you can select separately, and then you can download those PDF reports if you need it. They are there for 6 months, but as soon as new report is generated, the report older than 6 months is gone from there. Now, this is the transmission history, that when you send data to IBM, we tell you that the data is up to date or whatever it is. That you see there, it shows the history for the last 13 months. You see this bar here, shift 1. You see the number of days available, data available for each month. Those ones, it shows those ones. And that's what gives you the view that when you fail to send data, or how much data is available to customize the report. Now, this is one of the items that it gives your information that you filled it on the server, or you filled it on the HMC. This information tells you that LPAR number, your server name, and what kind of version you're running, and then what kind of model is this one, and your company name, address, zip code, and email address. This kind of information is available, but you cannot do any change over here. If you want to change information, you have to do it on your server, or you have to do it on HMC. And when the next time data is transmitted, then it will be updated over here. So this is not changeable information here. The information has to be changed on the server or the HMC. Now, when you click on this icon, the view, the first one, view customized graphs. When you click on that one, then you see this this page. It shows you the processor, memory, discount, this IO status, facts, and management summary. For the free customer, means those have not bought the PM offering, only this management summary icon will be active. Others icons will not be, those menu options will not be available. Those from processor, memory, disk, those are part of the full fee offering of the PM. Now, this is for the processor utilization. And just there are certain, the one previously show you at the system level, and this one is at the server level. So this shows the average utilization per hour, or average per day, and then also total with the trend projection. That the monthly graph means on the monthly basis. So this is a daily graph. It shows how the server was utilized on daily basis with the system average and the user average and the total peak average. Total peak, I already mentioned that the 2 peak hours of the processor usage in 24 hours, average of that one. And we have the recommended guidelines with all parties is a marginal is 80 and the critical as the 90%. Now, this is again the same thing which I already explained to you about how the system has been configured. I will go forward. Now, this is under fact. Under fact, it gives you some monthly 3 months view, tells you that how your system is doing. This is just a one-page summary of the resources. They show you what is the duration and how many months to guideline. This gives you the list of those ones tell you that when you are running out of the power or out of the gas. So where you should get ready or get prepared for that one. And for file system, for the disk system, we show this graph is for the file system. We show you your most 10 used file system with the 3 months history. There are 3 different color, and it tells you how your file systems are being used for the most 10 files used and the last 3 months. So each color, month 1, month 2, month 3, or it could be like this could be April, starting from February, March, April, and as of May is not ready yet because with the customer's graph, yes, you get it up to May, but in a PDF will be only up to the April. Now, this is again cross-LPAR information that you can submit, how you can do the submitting. Sizeness upgrade. Let me see, you want to merge servers together and then consolidate them into one, and then with the click of, when you say click this sizeness upgrade, and then you select the servers you want to submit for the sizing. Just do the check mark you see here, the screen below here, and then submit it. It will take you to the totally different system, which we don't own it, but it's a workload estimator system within IBM. They do it. And then it will show you the information, then what the system is and how it is, and then you can check what kind of system you may be looking for. They have the complete information on the website, which you can utilize it to see how you can so get the new system or what kind of system you may need it if you are consolidating 1, 2, or more partition into one server system. Now, this is the contact information for the PM where you can, if you are different countries, and then we have worldwide contacts. There's a list available where you can go in there and contact the person in your country, in your geo, so that if you want to buy PM or you want support on anything, they are there for you to give that help. So that kind of information is available, and the pricing information and everything is there if you want to buy the PM full fee offering if you want it. Now, going forward, that this is again the system number, order numbers, which they are utilized for the US, Canada, EMEA, or global. That kind of information is available. Now, if you don't have questions, then I will actually go for the live demo. If Joe, any questions from there?
Yeah, we do have some questions, Rafiq. Let's see if I can bring up a couple. First of all, let's back up to VIOS. So there were a couple of people that asked whether you can load this on and get data on your VIOS servers as well.
Yes, we do. The PM is installed there, but we show VIOS as a standalone server.
Okay.
Not part of the one which is running on it, but we show it as a standalone server. Yes, we do get the data. There are many customers sending data from the servers, and then we show them as is.
What's a typical? Well, I guess 2 questions. Let me see. I'll put these together. One is, what's the smallest unit of time that it records in, and what's a typical size of just a partition data set for like a day's worth of data?
The thing is, the minimum time the application runs on Topaz, and we convert it to 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Okay, I saw that in the cross-LPAR was 15 minutes. So that's true of all of them is 15 minutes then, right?
Yes.
Okay, and so and what kind of a size of a file does that generate on the LPAR?
The LPAR is not big file. I think it's about 700 kilobytes, something like that. Or maybe
okay, so yeah, pretty small.
Yeah,
so I mean, if you add a whole bunch of LPARs and you were doing this, that would add up. But if you have a whole bunch of LPARs, you probably have some space behind them as well.
Yeah, that is, but that is a separate file, and then that is created on the server and depends. That's why I said it in the cross alpha collection that it's better to keep it at 1 hour level if you have more partitions on the same box. So data will be less if you are doing it at 15 minutes.
Right. And so this is really, I mean, this is for looking at what your kind of overall usage is, and for kind of sizing for the future, and you're getting up, and this is where you might want to upgrade to if you need to. This isn't for, I need to find out I'm having this big spike here and I have a real issue here. Then you probably have to go in and set up some tools to gather information a little bit differently then, right?
Yes.
So somebody else then asked so this is an NMON type recording. Can they actually view the data with NMON analyzing tools themselves on their system?
Excuse me. No, we don't use NMON, and no, you cannot see this data on the NMON.
Okay, so this would be a different. I mean, if you're running NMON, it would be different. That's not what you're using. You're using.
No, we are
you
using
said Topaz.
NMON. We are using
right?
Topaz.
Right, and so I know NMON is kind of built into Topaz, but it actually collects separate data. So just so everybody knows, it's not the NMON data that's being collected. It's part of Topaz now, but it's not the same data that's collected. All right, so I'm just looking through here. What is? There were a couple of questions about the overhead on the resources for collecting it. Rafiq, is this? I mean, I'm sure there's got to be something, but is it just pretty negligible, or what would you say?
It's very negligible. Very negligible. It is done in the night when something is not running, and then after midnight, it collects the information of the yesterday's, and but it's very negligible overhead on it. I have been getting that question again and again. And then I showed them that you can go and check yourself. I see it in the report that it shows you this job is utilizing very less amount of processor or the memory. Very less.
Okay. And you said the data is kept at IBM for 25 months, a rolling 25 months, right?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Let me give some more information. There are 3 types of data we keep it on. 4 types: at hourly level, at daily level, at weekly level, and at monthly level. Hourly level we keep it at for 13 months because that is a huge data at hourly level. The weekly, daily, weekly, and monthly is for 25 months.
Okay, that makes sense. Somebody put in something about PM service is not supported inside P8, but you can run this tool on how far back does the tool? You can run on. I mean, the tool is old, so you can run on old operating systems, but on all the old Power Systems and everything, it runs, doesn't it?
Yes, we have some customers sending data even from Power 5 right now, or even beyond. I think also beyond that. Also, there are certain customers, but the thing is, the electronic source agent may be not working for them. In some cases, I mean, they have to do some update, or HMC or other. If you are able to, the PM is there running and is part of operating system. Only how to transmit the data to IBM. That's the thing they have to do it.
Okay, and I know I have a customer running this on Power 8, so I know I don't know of anybody yet on Power 9, but okay. So let's go ahead.
The PM is running on Power 8.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So let's go ahead and go on into the demo then.
Okay. Let me click from this one.
And you need to change your presentation. I'll tell you when I see it up there.
Okay.
Just before you start the demo, let me ask one other question, Rafiq. you mentioned that you log in and you set up a group, and you're like the owner of the group, but you can give other people access to view it, right?
Yes.
So what does somebody do in a company where the person who set up that group then leaves the company, and now there's this group set up and they have no way of knowing what the person set as far as getting into it? I'm sure this happens.
Yeah, it happens, but usually there are two ways. If the person before leaving can ask him to change the ownership of that group to somebody else in the company, that the person can do it, or you can send a note to PM and we take care of it, and then we may delete the group and you may recreate it, or we will see what we can do. But that depends upon the situation of each customer.
Okay, good, great. All right, thanks. Go ahead and go on with the demo then. So I could see your website up there now.
Joe,
the window that's on top of it, we can't see.
Yes, just a minute. One of my colleagues, she wants to talk about something. Can you, Mona Hogan, is there a way she can have access to microphone?
Yeah, why don't you tell me what the name is, and I will make them part of the panel.
Yeah, Mona Hogan.
Okay, let me see if I can find Mona here. Hang on.
R.M. Hogan.
Oh, I see her. Where'd she go? Mona Hogan. Okay, hang on. I'm going to make Mona. I'm just going to make you a panelist, Mona. See if we can do that. Okay, now you can. There. All right, try saying something, Mona.
Yeah, hello, this is Mona Hogan.
Yeah, I can hear you. There you go.
Hi.
Hello.
So, Rafiq, are you going to go ahead and give the demo here, or?
Yes, Mona.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to log in using as a customer, and I'm using my customer web ID, and then I have actually made some demo server, which I'm going to use it for this purpose to show you. And I'm going to log in as a customer. Then as soon as I log in, I get this, I showed you already that the welcome page that shows you what I can do. I said, okay, continue on, because I have already created a group, just called it ABC. Otherwise, I will just select this group here and say select the group, and then it will take me here. Now, if you are new one, as I showed you previously, then actually you go from here, manage group. If I go manage group and say create a group, I click here, and then it brings that information, the one I showed you during my presentation, that you can fill in information. As I said, you already see this information get filled up automatically, and then you can click it, create, and then it will move forward as those steps are given in my presentation. Now, and then once the group has been created, and then actually what happens that then you can say add server, and then when you say add server, when you create a group, then this page comes up automatically where you fill in the serial number and then register key. But once you have already created a group, you have server, you want to add more, then you just click this just add server button here, and then it will show you information about, ask you to fill in the serial number and the registration key. And then this is another option, copy server. That is means you can copy. When I click the copy server, it will give you the option to select the servers and put them into a new group. You mean so you can copy the servers will be here, and you create a partial group of the servers for a particular person or for a particular region or for a particular area. You can copy the server into a new group. So this option is available, and then if the server is old enough, is not there anymore, and then have been replaced, you can go and click the remove server and check in the box and then remove. You can easily remove it from the list. And as far as the BP authorization, as I mentioned, that if you want to authorize the BP, and then in that case, you fill in the form and click over here, it gives you the form to fill in that information and kind of then sign out. Now, this is information right now, you have it here, and there's a bar here. We show you that what kind of information is available on the website. All that information is available in this downloadable CSV. You can download information using this one, export data to CSV. I will get the full information in the last two lines. You see here the GTS contracts, customer contract, they are check mark. I'll get the full information on those two in this server, shift 1 and shift 2. Each server has two lines in this page, shift 1 and shift 2. Those numbers are here, prime shift and off shift, those ones you see here. And then in this case, I'll get the information, full information, and in this case, I will not get information. Now, what the difference between these two? If I click here on the PDF report here, what I see here, you see, is only one page. There's only one page. Means the two pages, but because the cross alpha is not set up, I just made a check mark there, but they're not there available. Data is not available. But if a cross alpha has not been set up, then you get only this page. Now, this one page gives you information about the total processor, disk, and file system. And if you have set up the cross alpha properly, then you get that information too also here. So what you call it, if you don't have, it's available to every customer free of charge. If you have,
so Rafiq, just a little clarification here. So, Joe, I think you kind of mentioned this early on, and Rafiq touched on it, but this is where we talk about the free version or the fee version. So those first two lines that Rafiq is showing, those would come to the clients free of charge. It's part of the value add up for the operating system, and it's called the PM Management Summary Report. And then if they purchase a contract of some sort, it could be a GTS premium offering that bundles PM. It could be a standalone offering. In the US, I think they sell standalone more often. And then you would see what Rafiq's referring to, the full detail report. That can be up to 40 different pages of reports and graphs, as well as from this website, you can do actual interactive graphing. So maybe you want to take a look at a bottleneck that's occurring every week. You can come out here and you can do some interactive graphing. So that's all for me.
Okay, thank you, Mona. This is the one full report where the customer has a GTS offering contract. You get for the AIX, it is almost 20 pages. For IBM I, the most 39 pages, because IBM I has more graphs than the AIX we have. So, and this is downloadable PDF, available history available for the last 6 months. So this gives you all information, what kind of information is in this graph. This is the first one. It's called the executive summary graph. And then that is just another common word, stoplight. It tells you where your system is going forward. So the color will change if you are nearing to the guidelines. So because you go to red to yellow, but this is all green. So right now is okay. So the same page, the one you saw it in the free offering, and going forward, this is a page about the processors seconds per I/O for a user. Because this is a test system, it is small. Some cases you may not see the data because it's not the utilizer is not there at all, and then you may not see it. But with some places you see some data because it's a small system and it's not being utilized. This is just my test system to do some testing. Now, this is one of the graphs over here, and then also process utilization. It shows you see the on the hourly basis, just sitting down here, the graphs are very minimal usage, and on daily basis also very rare. Unfortunately, the example is very bad, because the system not being used, the test system. So this is the monthly, means we are not be collecting data so often. You see there are missing months in the middle, and then also the graphs based on this one. So these are the reports which is produced for the shared processor and then system view, and kind of moving forward. The run queue limit and those graphs for the run queue, and then also the memory usage shows how the memory is being used, the guidelines, what the guidelines are. This is hourly, this is daily, and then this is a disk usage, and then it shows the monthly trend of the disk. This is the daily, and this is the based on the month. And then those are the file system. We have only one file system on this one. Send data being used, and only that one is shown over here. Only 1 month history. Sorry, there are 10 out there, but we just started sending data, so you see only the most recent one. And this is the same thing over here. And this arm utilization means this is give you the information what is your disk response time, means how often, how quick you get the information back from the disk if you are running some query or anything else. And this is give you trend, how the growth of the trend is going. So this is a 20-page, and this is summary. It tells you we did not receive the data for these are missing days on those months. And this gets all that information. And this is the one I already showed it, that tells you what is utilization, and it tells you what the guidelines are, and then how many months you are okay to go. So this is a 20-page summary, 20-page graph of the PDF which is available. And this shows the transmission history, that show you the red means there was no data received and how many days of this one. This already showed it in my demo, in my presentation. Now, going with the interactive graphs, first I do use this one where I don't have a GTS contract. And I already mentioned that I have access only to management summary graphs. I don't have access to anyone. So that's the one only will show you. And in this case, you can go backward. I don't have the data in the previous month because I just started it. Otherwise, I can go and change the date here. Put the dates, you can go all the way to, because it's a monthly basis, so you can go all the way back to 15 months. Sorry, 25 months. And you can see up to 25 months backward in the customer's graphs, but the PDF is only for 6 months. And you can even print it. If you see this one, use this print one, and then you can print that one. And if you don't understand something, and then you have the help key here. For each graph, when you do it, it will open that page for you in the graph reference document, particular one, and it tell you that what it means, and then they give you that information. It is available for each and every graph. That's why you do it. Just press the key, help key there, and then it will give you information what the graph means and how you can read it. So this is that kind of information. Excuse me. Going backward, I'm using this one with a full feed customer. The server, I have information on the process utilization on all those, the buttons are available now to me that I can manipulate, play with them, and then see how the things are. So this is the one I'm picked up the hourly graph, and then it shows it's up to date, means this is my version as of yesterday, 5/20 up to today, means some data came in today. For 4/23, you see the periods showing up here on the left side. From 4/23/2019 to 5/23/2019, means this up to date, means this up to this morning. And the data came in, I think sometime about 9 a.m. this morning, so that's why it's showing up here. And you can even customize it in that case. You can go backwards, select the date from day to date. for hourly graph, I will still say select only 1 month, and then go and check it, or don't go beyond 1 month, otherwise you won't get a good average. Now, the thing is more I want to show you here, and let's say here, and the daily utilization. This is something you can play with it. This is as of there's some up to 1%, means prefer the RPERF value on the left side, and process is a percent in usage in percent on the right hand side. You can pick one date. You see there's some peak here, little bit. Excuse me. You can customize it and see this one, particularly which day is this one. So I can assume that, okay, this is from between 5, 6. I can say, okay, show me data for May 6 to May 11. And then I submit it. Then it shows me in this graph that shows me that, okay, on the 7th and 8th, I had some more utilization, maybe something was running, even though it is a minimum here, but it shows up. Now you can see in this particular one, you can say, okay, on the 7th and 8th, I can customize it again more, and then says, I said, okay, I want it only May 7th. So I say May 7th, and May 7th here. And then I said, I want to see the hourly graphs. If to show you, this is data range 5, 7, 10. There was instruction that let's change here to 5, 8. No. So this is hourly graph again, and then came back here. Then I can check on this one here. So that's how you can manipulate and check those things, and then play with it, and those ones. You can see utilization and particular hour, which hour was highest on that day. So this the hour 1 was being used in the time I was there. So in the you can that's how you can manipulate when you have a full fee offering with the PM, those ones. You can do the same thing for the run total processor. I don't have the data here right now, so I can't do it. You can do for the run queue and the memory, disk, and all these ones. This counts to the full fee offering, and help key is available, and you can print it anytime you want to print that graph. So help key will tell you what it means, those graphs. This is help key is available also outside the PM is called in the graph reference document. You can go through it and see those. That's what you have. Now with this one, I'm going back to the here. So I can export it to do the sizeness upgrade. I can select server. I can select both, or I can select one. Just click it and say export to this is CSV. Let me cancel this one. I say sizeness upgrade. So I can select this one and select this one, and then say no, submit for sizing. It would take me into the server outside PM, means not outside IBM, but it's a IBM server. Worker estimator, it will ask you first, okay, you are submitting these 2 servers, could be 1, 2, 3, or more, and then you submit it, or you can cancel it, go back to the, when you submit it, it will go forward, and then take you to the workload estimator website, and so it tell you and give you the information. You can play with it. There's a document available how you can merge, consolidate your server and then into one server, into one box. So you can use that one, and based on those ones, you do selections, everything. I'm not a master on the WLE, so there's a document available, then it tells you how to, you can do that one. I'll cancel this one. I'm back here on my server info page, and when I want to export it to CSV, then I can export it. And then this one over here, I said, okay, no, select all but 4 lines, and then you can export it to CSV. It will ask it to export. You can either select all servers in a group, or you can select one by one as I did it, and then you can do that one. And export it to CSV, which is saved on your PC or the laptop. That's why you can do it. So this is, and then I said you can authorize the BP if you click here, then select server. Okay, I'm going to authorize this server to the BP. Then add, can go there and then fill that information here for the BP, and then submit it. The BP will be informed, and then when he's given authority, that he will get a note from the BP form will get a note from PM, and the customer will also get information that you have taken this action to authorize the BP. Now, some customers usually have a problem that they want to add a server, and they don't have the registration key. They forgot, they lost it, they don't know, but they know the serial number. So when you do add server, just click here. If you do not have the registration key, just press here. It will take you to the new page and show you the information where the way you fill it. You put the serial number here and press this one, click here. It will give you a page and give you information where the information will be sent to. Means it will be sent to your email address. So if you see that your email address is not correct, then just cancel it and go back and update the information as I did it in my presentation, that you go back and change the information and make it update on your server and transmit the data. It will be updated on the transmission, and then you can resubmit it. So this will happen, and then that's how you can add more server, and you can get the new key for your server. So Joe, I'm going back to my this here, and I'm back here on this page. Sorry.
Okay, while you're going back there, Rafiq, I'll just say a couple of things about, there were some questions about pricing and such. So I really can't speak. It's, you know, as with a lot of things in IBM, things are priced differently in different countries. So in the U.S., PM for Power is priced by system. I think in other places it's priced by LPAR. Maybe in Europe and other places it might be by LPAR. But in the U.S. it's priced by system. And it's a tier of your system. So, you know, we sell small, medium, and large systems depending on the size. The enterprise systems are well, medium these days. We used to, 795 was a large, but now we have medium. But anyway, if you want actual pricing, you have to contact one of your, either your business partner, the business partners can sell this, or the IBM or sales team that you work with can also get you pricing. So that's how you get the pricing. But my understanding of it, it's really not an expensive tool to get. So it's actually very, very reasonably priced in order to get the fee part of this. Remember, there's a portion of it that's no charge at all. So you can do this without any charge, and you can get some graphs and give you some information. But if you want the detailed stuff that Rafiq also demonstrated, you can purchase that through some orders, either through your business partner or your IBM team.
Mona?
Yeah.
You heard the question from, pricing question from Joe?
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I gave that information to Joel.
Yeah, Mona was giving me all this stuff and showing me how things were sort of done, but like I said, it's different for different countries, so I really can only speak about how it is in the U.S.
Packaging and bundling is different. I know in the U.S. there's a standalone version, but I think in Europe it's actually part of the enhanced technical support offering. And for any clients that are starting to see the rollout of Proactive, PM is bundled in there. But our team really doesn't get involved with the pricing or the contracts part of it. So it is really best to work with your GTS sales teams, reps to get that information, or your business partners.
But it is available worldwide. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not in the U.S., you know, if you're, and there was a question about, you know, SSA, other Americas, you know, you ought to be able to get it. So just contact whoever you buy through, and they can certainly quote you what it is and how it is priced in that particular area.
And another thing, the PM for Power Systems website, and I know Rafiq's got that in his pages. Rafiq, you might want to check. We're looking at a little gray page here instead of your last two pages in the deck. But if you go to the PM for Power Systems website, you will see just a vast amount of information there, how to get started, how to sign on, a lot of the things that Rafiq showed you. There's demos, there's you know, how-to pages, as well as a contact page for, we try to maintain this as much as we can with all the different countries, that there's usually a rep in the country that knows a lot about PM. So those are your first points of contact, you know, if you're interested in purchasing as well. And that's all on the PM for Power Systems website, and I know Rafiq has provided that in his deck here.
Yep, and we put that in the chats and stuff too, so you can go to that website from things. And like I said earlier, the presentation that Rafiq has gone through is all out on the Power Systems Wiki, so you can download that. All the links that he had in there should be in that presentation. So Rafiq, did you go back to your presentation then?
Yeah.
We're just see the gray box, so we don't actually see it yet. It's just a gray box on the screen. No.
Let me. I thought it's share. Sorry.
Okay. I'm still figuring out this tool too. So there's a question on SRM data. How this is different from SRM data. Yep, I can see it now, Rafiq. Good. Yeah, so here's a FAQ page, a link to a FAQ. That's good.
Yes. There's and you can go to the or page backward. A frequent question is mostly people ask what to do. But as I showed it previously on the PM for Power System, and this page, the one, let me page 20. Over here, you can see the full everything information over there when you go to the top link of the Power System Support Performance Index. So you see all that information. There are also frequently asked questions there too, and then also how to set up and how to get started, and contact information. All kind of information is available on that link.
Yep.
Okay.
And then Rafiq, I think you've got the last couple pages, you've got the order, like if you're working with your GTS rep, sales folks, there's some PID order numbers on there for the US.
That one is here.
Right, kind of at the very back of it there.
Yeah, this is let's see, just this.
There we go. Go back one more.
Yeah, this one.
One more. There you go.
Yep.
So yeah. So again, you know, as we've mentioned, it's different in the different countries. US does sell standalone. There's your PID order number. So if you work with express@us.ibm.com, Canada, you should be able to send to that IBM services, give them that. And then EMEA, you probably just want to go out and look at the contacts page there on the website and make sure that you work with those contacts for your country.
Very good. And I think we've really gotten through most of the questions. You know, there is one on here about SRM data and the SRM portal, which I'm not really familiar with. I'm not sure, Rafiq or Mona, if you're familiar with that.
Yes, we are familiar with that one. SRM is dependent on us for IBMI.
Oh, so they use the PM for Power for IBMI?
Yes, for IBMI.
Okay.
But
they utilize the PM for Power data for IBMI. Their what they show is a little bit different, but they do utilize our data. We provide a data link for them for that.
Okay.
And I think they use here we use the electronic service agent. I'm not sure they're using electronic service, but they use the FTP process, which is the setup, and then actually you should have the SRM contract to utilize their services. And then whereas PM, you don't have to have the contract with it. You still send the data and can see something there, one-page management summary all the time. But as I mentioned, they are dependent on us for IBMI.
Okay. So you might have run into this. The other question on here is this person says they have authentication proxies for outbound internet connectivity. So, and I'm sure this is, with the security these days, this is pretty common to have some kind of things around your outbound traffic. So the question is there a way to either whitelist a site or allow proxy authentication to upload the data?
No, we don't allow or update. I think it's electronic service agent or HMC, because I think each electronic service agent is the one, what do you call it, encrypt the data. It uses HTTPS. They encrypt it.
Okay, yeah.
So that is secured, is most secured. That even somebody get it, they won't know what is it. And then it comes to inside IBM behind the firewall before it is decrypted. Decryption is done by us, not by electronic service agent. We decrypt it ourselves, and then inside the firewall. So and that data is secured when you're sending using electronic service agent, or HMC uses the electronic service agent protocol for, and the same thing, HTTPS. There's some customer, I know some company, they have in some countries, they have a problem communicating outside their network, so they don't want their server be communicating.
Right.
So usually they set up another server outside one, that one has a connection with the outside the internet, and it collects information from different servers. You can do the host on the remote. One server collects information from all other servers and sending it to PM. And that also is a way to do it, and information given on the PM website.
Okay, very good. Well, we're also at the end of our session now, and I think we're pretty much out of questions anyway. So I want to say thank you, Rafiq. Thank you, Mona, as well. It's been an excellent presentation. I think, like I said, this is a tool that more people could get use out of, whether they do the no-charge version or the fee version. But thank you very much, Rafiq, and thank you, Mona.
Thank you. Joe, can you send us the list of people who were participating on that one?
Yes, I will. I'll send you the list and report of everything. You'll get it.
And the recording too. And the recording also.
Yep, and the recording, I'll put a link on the wiki, and so everybody will be able to see and get to that probably in the next day or two. All right,
okay.
Certainly by tomorrow. And June, I have set up, we're going to talk about a new IBM cloud in June. So the public cloud. So it'll be brand new and interesting stuff to hear about then. So everybody will want to tune in for that.
Thank you, Joe, for putting this on. Rafiq and I really enjoy sharing PM because we know we have a lot of loyal clients out there who love it, and we'd like to be able to share that with everyone. So thank you for putting this on.
Perfect. Yep, you're welcome. It's been great. So thanks, everyone, and have a good month.